Alright, back on that Corvette that I'm working on, the LT4 Teardown. I'm going to show you in that engine compartment here just in a second. But first off, I'm going to, if you live Santa Clara, California, and you know of this place, do not take your vehicle to that location because they just have a bunch of dumbasses working there. I can vouch for that. This car was tore down multiple times. You can see all the there's 1, 2, 3 separate receipts, all in the $1,000 range. Oh, I'm not going to get into those. I'm going to get into this one here. But anyway, this guy, the owner of this vehicle, I have his name covered up just for strictly for privacy. I don't want to put him on blast, but these people need to be put on blast. If they don't have any reviews, if you look at them online and see if they have any reviews, which I'm going to do, they're getting their review right now. I'd probably take my car to I don't know, Fonzie. I'd take it to your shop before I took it to theirs. All right, Fonz. High five. What's up, Fonz? Fonzie. Fonzie's cool. That's what Fonzie is. He's just cool. You guys know who Fonzie is. Anyways, back to the basics here. Race, street, rally. Thumbs down. I don't know if I can give like a toes down, thumbs down, everything that I have down on this place. They just have Buford ass mechanics in there. Just this is what they called for: 1 gasket kit, 1 piston ring set main bearings, rod bearing set, spark plugs, oil pump. Shit, can't even read that. Quality something. I don't know. Gallery something plug, maybe freeze plugs. I don't know. Something else and oil filter. It looks like. But anyways, this is the bullshit that they scribbled on here. Valve train noise. I don't know. Anyways, then blah blah blah. Total 42.86 and change. The original estimate was $105. This is on a 96 Corvette. Okay. This is basically a revised estimate of $3,600. And let's see, this was in, where are we at? It looks like 10/7 of 2009. And do we have a mileage on the vehicle? I don't have a mileage on this receipt, but from other receipts around that era on this car, the mileage was in the 50s. So I do have other receipts in here, and I've gone through those, and the mileage was in the 50s. The miles, I believe, was in the 50s, mid 50s range. Okay. Just a quick one. When you take out your rockers here, you take these out. I usually set them in order, in the order that they came off. Well, just one quick thing. If you could see the damage to the underside of this valve cover here. This is a composite cover. These are pretty damn expensive. It didn't tear through, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a Dremel tool and clean that up when I get to that point, and feather it out and make sure none of the maybe put a dab of if I get it cleaned up real good, I don't know, I might epoxy that area. But anyways, as you can see, one of the rockers has a cut in it. This is a factory cut, or it was you know, when GM used these rockers for this vehicle, they made that cut specifically for these valve covers. And this valve cover here has this little deal and that basically was because Buford put this rocker on here versus this one. So this cut, and looking at all these, you know, it behoove you to wonder why there's a cut there, right? Any normal person would wonder why there's a cut there if you happen to just be an asshole and just mixed all these up. But you know, like I said, that's why these guys are getting such shitty reviews. This was supposed to be on the first one here and this one here. So with that indentation there, it would make clearance for the little deal inside the valve cover there, and it wouldn't have tore that down. So that's just one thing. We've got a ton of bolts that are just misplaced. They're just scattered all over the place, not in the right areas. We've got a coolant line that had the bracket that holds it down bent out of whack for God knows what, but this is supposed to be tied down. You don't need these gaskets, guys. They don't need silicone. Okay, this is bullshit work right here. This is all bullshit work right here. Okay, they don't need silicone, especially that much. I mean, I understand some people just feel like it's safe, cheap insurance to put like a little skim coat of silicone, but not shitloads of silicone. Look at this ugly shit here. You know, the drive gear, or the sleeve that goes on the drive gear on the water pump, is installed backwards. This groove here is supposed to be installed the opposite way, towards the crank. Towards the block. I'm sorry. I mean, just various shit. The throttle cable is broken. I mean, that could have not been them. We'd had you know, pipe wrench being used on some of these bolts. I mean, it's just pretty ridiculous of what's going on. There's a few other things that's going on here that I just can't think of right now because I'm just overwhelmed with shit. But as you can see, this engine's gonna have to. What I believe happened is the engine overheated. Well, we had kinked hoses to the throttle body, the incorrect hoses that were put on, just regular, you know, fuel line hose used as throttle body hoses that had no shape or form, and they're just kinked all over the place. No water was running to the throttle body, I'll guarantee that. I believe what happened here is the engine overheated, and I'm not sure due to what the engine overheated. It could have been leaking. The water pump could have been leaking. It could have ran out of coolant. I mean, there's a ton of different things that you know, I haven't checked out yet. But I know these. I've read on some of the forums that these are the LT1 gaskets. These are the Felpro LT1 gaskets, and what I've read is that using these on LT4 applications will not hold up. And Buford must have just thought this was a regular LT1. No research done behind this whole project. You know, pretty much just get the customer in, blast them with a $4,000 or $5,000 bill, and get them the hell out of your face. But you know, I don't know how they operate, but I had to put that place. If you live in San Jose or close to that shop and know of it, I'm putting them on super fire right now. I don't care who sees this video. You can say whatever you want to say. I hope the owner of the shop sees it so he knows that he's got some dumb shit mechanics working for him. There it is again, one more time. Race. Maybe I should make that the title of my video. Race, Street, Rally. This is called, in the bottom there it says precision engine building. Okay? Precision. So you guys think on that. Let me know what you think. You know, like I said again, I don't care who really sees this video. I'm hoping this video gets to somebody that you know, is going to benefit from the shit that I'm talking about. So anyways, we'll talk to you later, and I'll see you on the next video.